Hey everybody, Chevy, nobody else's auto. It is a cold, dreary, wet, rainy day. But we're out on the road, and we always stop by a buddy of mine's place when I get through this part of the country. Now, I only get down here a couple times a year, so even though it's kind of cold and dreary and rainy, still had to stop by. Now, if you saw the last videos, you saw that we did lose my good friend here several months back. But fortunately, great family, know all of them, great people. They still let me stop by, get to visit with them. But there's been a lot of changes happening. They have started cleaning up some of the just pure scrap, trying to make a little bit of room to work in here. And eventually, at some point down the road, probably going to have a few auctions to thin some of this stuff out, move it on to guys that need parts for their projects, things like that. A lot of the stuff has been somewhat picked over, but there's still a lot of cool stuff in here. Not a lot of good project stuff, but tons of great parts cars, especially if there's something in here similar to what you're building. So, you know, working on a long-term plan, nothing's going to happen immediately. But, you know, at least they're not just going to come in and just crush the whole thing out. They do want to try to get some of this stuff moved on down the road to people that can use the pieces. So that's definitely a positive sign. Great people. It's enjoy working with them. Obviously, you know, knew my friend for a lot of years, and we all sure miss him. There's no doubt about that. But he saved a lot of stuff here that is going to get moved on down the road to people that need the bits and pieces for their projects. So let's go check out a few more things while we've got a little bit of time. Like I said, you know, it's definitely not an ideal day to do it, but when I only get down by here a couple times a year, we definitely want to take advantage of it. So let's go check out some more cool old iron. Well, we'll see how the weather cooperates. We may have a couple segments to this, but right now it's not raining too bad. So we'll wander around for a few minutes to check out a few things, including this cool bus. 63, 64 era Ford school bus. Not an extremely large bus either, somewhat of a short bus. Check out the air intakes on the side of this thing. I bet that was the air conditioning you got back in the day. Other than, of course, the sliding vent window right there. Keep the air moving through. But a pretty unique old bus. As always, in a lot of these old yards, used for storage, filled with other parts. They were great for that. Sitting right next to an old Econoline. The old 60s era Econoline, filled with transmissions. And stacked on top with rear ends. Banged up a little bit up front. Check out the bumper guard. Check out the heavy duty bumper guard on the Econoline. Only the when it bumped into something, it went right above the bumper guard. Let's jump across the road here and check out some more old vans. An old flat windshield Chevy sport van. Pretty much a flat nose on the front of these. Tree on this one literally grew right up around the corner of the van. Shaped itself to the corner of the body. Fortunately, the bumper's already gone, so I think if you pull this thing back, it will come right off of the tree. But literally just followed the curvature of the corner of this van. It was an old sport van, 108. And it's definitely seen better days. But that's the way a lot of this stuff is, but there's a ton of parts on this stuff. You don't see these vans very often. If you needed bits and pieces for them, this stuff is great for that. And a Corvair van. You don't see these very often anymore. This one missing most of the doors, actually. The right front doors here. Looks like all the rest of the doors are gone off of this particular van. Transmission stored inside this one. Kind of a whole segment of vans. I believe this would be a second series Econoline. Looks like from starting around 69. I think that's what this one was. Yeah, that's what it appears to be. See the Ford V8 in this one. And somebody actually cut the entire corner out of this particular Econoline for pieces. This was actually a super van. Another Corvair van. See where the engine was mounted in the back of these. This one does have a few more bits and pieces on it. Still the side doors on it. Of course, the vents on the side to get air back through the back of these. And this one still has some parts left on it. And as always, just like all these old vans, more parts stacked inside of them. Vans do make great storage. I even use them for that. How about a big Dodge van? Boy, back in the 70s, this thing was a family hauler here. Look at all the windows down the side of this thing, all the trim on it, two-tone green and white. This was a great family hauler back in the 70s. That is a big van. And with all this trim, this had to have been a pretty fancy one. Most of the dash has gone out of this one. And once again, used for storage inside. Big van segment. Let's check out a couple cars though too. There are a few cars sitting right around here before we move on. 67 Bonneville. Very unique nose on the full-size 67 Pontiac. This one missing the left front fender. And there again, definitely not a project car, but there's a lot of stuff here on these cars. If you were doing a full-size 67 Pontiac, good parts car. Let's swing over here to another unique one. The 1960 Oldsmobile. These cars are definitely different. This one, a Super 88. These are a very unique design on these particular cars for sure. Missing both doors off of this side. Dash is mostly all still in it. A lot of the nose is still here. These are just a pretty sharp, pretty neat old car. The big rocket V8 still there. It hasn't run in a while, but it's still there. A-100 van. While we're doing vans, check out the A-100. Got an early Chevy, an early Econoline, and now we need to get a A-100 from the 60s in this video as well. Been here a long time. All the big stuff is here, missing a lot of the little trim and things like that. But there again, a lot of good stuff here for an A-100 guy. More transmission stored in this one as well. And still a few bits and pieces left inside of this A-100. How about a travel all? Still a lot of trim and bits and pieces left on this one. About a 70 travel all the way it looks. There again, it's been here a long time. Engine's gone. Not a good candidate for a project, but a lot of parts here for your early 70s international guy. Always fun out going and wandering around, checking things out in these old salvage yards. So, like I said, definitely missed my buddy. Definitely not the same, but fortunately, there's a plan, and eventually move some of this stuff down the road to the people that are restoring these vehicles and need them for parts. So that's way better than happens a lot of times where they just go in and level them. So, you know, we definitely glad to hear that. Don't know when that's going to happen, but that's what they're kind of working towards. But anyway, hope you enjoyed checking some stuff out. Kind of a whole mishmash of early vans in this video, but you never know. That's what's fun, going out exploring, checking out these old yards, seeing all the different things, and you never know what's going to pop up. So hope you enjoyed this one. Stay tuned. We'll get some more content from here. Yet this trip, providing the weather holds and this rain doesn't bust wide open on us. Like I said, it's sprinkling a little bit right now, so we're doing what we can, working with what we can, and trying to get some stuff. But you never know when the sky looks like this, what could happen. So we're going to keep working on things. We'll try to get a few bits and pieces rounded up and try to share some more cool stuff with you from this yard. So thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this. You like these old cars and trucks, definitely click that subscribe button. We've had a ton of cool new inventory rolling in and hitting the ground at Nobody Else's Auto. So click that subscribe button. You don't want to miss any of that. We'll bring you some more stuff from here. We've got a lot of cool things happening, and you don't want to miss any of it. So click that subscribe button. Stay tuned. Check out some of the other videos. Old cars, old trucks, memorabilia. That's about all we know to talk about on here. So that's pretty much about all we talk about. But we have a lot of fun doing it. Hope you enjoyed this one. I sure hope to see you soon on the next video. Thanks for watching, everybody.